Ha 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 ha! Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Tussa City Podcast. You know what it is? It is your boy Fax Mercury, aka Craig Flex, aka what the hell? Oh, Stimothy Chalamet, aka Stim Duncan. We out here trying to live, and of course, I'm joined by the good brother.
You already know, man. It's your boy TWMB, 4 kids with head, aka Twim, also known as, just Tenny. Simple as that. Back at you again, 2021, here in the flesh, ready to pod, and just give you guys the little that has happened, but I guess, just a good word over the holidays, because this is our first pod post holidays, right? I guess I
Yeah,
would say.
episode 35, checking in, top of the year 2021. Shout out OGKD 35. You know,
Hey,
I had love for him until he decided to shit the bed in 2016, but that's neither here nor there. We wish him
KD trade
success
35.
in Brooklyn. Anyways, yeah, so at the top of the year, brand new. Let's get into it. How was your Christmas and your New Year's, since that was the 2 weeks since our last pod.
I guess I started with Christmas. It was pretty chill, and I guess if I had to, I'm gonna like moonwalk in time real quick to Christmas, but it was pretty chill. I mean, I didn't really get into too much. I mean, I'm not sitting here knocking anybody. I saw a lot of people, get together with their friends, their family, and all the like. Me, it was really low key. I chilled with wifey. We went and seen her family up the street because we do live like on the same street, and we see them enough that it's like, I mean, if you're seeing me, you're seeing them because contact wise, we've been in touch. So like, we did that. So it wasn't too much communication, at least with too many people on Christmas Day. So like, you'd open gifts in the morning, whatever gifts that there is, and I like it was just kind of like a weird feeling, I guess, on Christmas. Like I felt like it was Christmas, but I didn't feel like completely engaged in the cheery mood of the holidays. But we definitely tried to make the best of it. We did family breakfast dinner and things like that. After Christmas, I mean, the week after was pretty much a lot of the same. I mean, just working. We stayed low key. Kept my head down. I literally didn't pop out. Like typically I'll say Christmas is one of those times of the year where a lot of people are getting together. You hitting the bars. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people having house get-togethers, or if you are exchanging gifts, you can exchange gifts prior to Christmas, probably on like a Christmas Eve thing. We didn't do any of that. Like we didn't even like even New Year's, like at the crib. Probably got a couple drinks or whatever, but that's it. Like we didn't do nothing excessive, and that was pretty much the story, I want to say, for like I want to say my Christmas and New Year's. I don't know about you. What did you do?
Yeah, the same. We kept it real simple for Christmas. Stayed home. We exchanged our gifts for each other. Cooked. Yeah, we did the joint, like Christmas Eve nighttime thing, and then Christmas Day all day kind of thing. Um, then from there, it was New Year's. Same thing. Kept it real simple. Uh, Zoomed y'all as we counted down. My family called real quick, spoke to them. And yeah, and that was it. Nothing too major. Yeah, just like you said, just kept it real simple because you got to work with what limited means you have right now. And if you're having these crazy family get-togethers, man, like just uh,
You
I ain't
really got to be cognizant of what you're doing. Like, and I'll be honest, like, cause I did like, and actually I did omit on that. My family was in town. Like, I did see my sister. Shout out my sister and shout out Evan. I tried to keep, we kept contact to a minimum, and we were being very, very cognizant and, free flowing, opening the windows. It was cold in the rooms we was at. Like, what I'm saying? We was doing what we can to at least be very, very smart about what was going on. You know what I mean? Not people being on top of each other. We not like drinking, everybody getting excessive, loud, screaming, yada yada. Yeah, been like we weren't on any of that type of time. Everybody was still very aware of the fact that COVID's there, but it's crazy. It's kind of like the bacteria you can't see. You know what I mean? That's literally what it is. You can't see. Like me speaking right now, I'm not like spitting per se, but like there's molecules in the air when I open my mouth, as like, you know what I mean, like breathe in and out in my nose. It doesn't matter how I actually go about like taking my precautions, I know that there's still that risk of transmission. Um, but I don't know. I seen some bullshit this weekend. Fuck out of here on Instagram. Niggas is going crazy. So hey,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
that ain't it,
yeah,
man.
it ain't it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody got to really just put their smart cap on when it comes to COVID. Cause trust me, you don't think I want to get with the homies and
Getting
get
worse.
crazy in the room? Yo, you know how many like alerts was going off on my phone? You know, this was the first year I didn't do nothing for New Year's. Every single year, I usually have homies in the crib. We
Didn't
usually
do
turned up.
anything.
We usually
Yep.
doing our thing, and you know what I'm saying? Like we
Good
usually
old
just
time.
getting active around this time of the year, and it's just so crazy that we
Yeah.
just wasn't able to do anything. Like this shit is just really it's depressing. It's depressing when you actually sit back and think about it.
Yeah.
Like
And I'm not too much of, well, I mean, I'm an introvert. I'm 100% introvert. But those are the few times it's like I'm going out. I'm gonna have mad fun. I'm gonna be loud and
go get
all
in your
types of
bag,
crazy.
yeah. Like
And
what?
that's the
Like
one few times I'm like, all right, and then that's it. And just couldn't do that shit,
mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, just if you're doing anything to the contrary, like, that's just really not it, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the numbers are just not supporting any downward trend. We're just not rolling the vaccine out fast enough.
That's
There's just
enough, yeah.
no governmental support for this. They're just kind of like, here's the vaccine, whatever.
Yeah, it's like, yo, hey, it's been approved. That's it. Like that's all we heard. Like it's not like, all
So,
right, this is how we're gonna disperse it. I mean,
and then you
so
got
people
all these, the media playing right into this, skepticism of the vaccine with all these things that are telling like half truths and shit. When they're talking about, oh yeah, somebody got a vaccine or they took the vaccine and they got COVID after, and everyone was like, see, it don't even fucking work. And I'm like, yo, man,
it's
like I
like
wish the
like
media
people
actually
are
cared
idiots.
about,
People
having
are
real
idiots.
science. Yeah, people not having the understanding how shit is working. And it's like that information is just so readily available if you wanted to take a look. And people just don't take
Oh
that
man.
fucking look.
That got
And the
me
media
dying
don't
right
help
now.
either in spreading what's actual information. So then
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna have mad people like, I'm not taking that vaccine. Like I saw like a comment from, it was like an excerpt in an article, and somebody was straight like, oh, my chances of getting COVID or my chances of, like something wrong with the vaccine, I think I'll take my chances getting COVID. And I just was like, we're done, bro.
We're
Pack it
done.
up. That's
Yeah.
it. Like, it's like,
Yeah,
oh
nah.
shit.
People, and like, it's scary because I know a lot of people. I feel like that have that mentality too. Like you know, like, and it's so crazy. Like I just don't understand. Like when,
Zero
like people,
empathy.
yeah, like when, like what the fuck? Like, is your mind really believe that? Like you just really think that you're gonna be able to gamble versus going to take? Like I'm not sitting here telling anybody to be first in line. You obviously want to be safe about how you want to plan to take anything. It's not like you know what I mean. Like any drug the government ever put out or anything, like they put out drugs all the time that people don't take. Yeah, you want to be smart about this, but this is something a little bit different. COVID-19 is something that people don't understand, and definitely I think at least the most vulnerable are going to be the ones that have to sign up, should step up first, take that, get it out the way, because like they're the most vulnerable. You're somebody that can die if you get COVID. But the people that think, oh, I'm young and I just want to roll the dice, I haven't, I'm fine, I'm not gonna get COVID. Or you could just be walking around as one of those asymptomatic bombs of COVID. You don't even know, like you just got mad different diseases because you're right, like you're young and unfortunately you're not showing the symptoms like everybody else. Like for you to just think that like you don't have to take the vaccine and you just like I don't know, that's just mad irresponsible to me. And yeah, we get some people get the flu. You're right. Some people get the flu shot. Some people choose not to get the flu shot. I know me personally, I don't get the flu shot, and like I guess I try not to stay sick. But you might like I could be more responsible and get the flu shot. But if it was something like COVID, then it's a little bit of a no brainer. If it's something that's proven safe, I don't have to worry about it. 1, 2, 3 years, I mean, come on, like, what can I say? Like, am I gonna really sit here and be like, all right, I'm never taking the vaccine? Like, if it's mandated to, especially if you want to do certain things, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. How do you feel about that though? Like, just that possibility of what I just said though, like the notion of okay, like you need the COVID vaccine to do things.
Good. That would mean somewhat of a competent fucking government
You
to
think so?
actually. I think so. We don't. These people don't give a shit about us, so they're just gonna never push any kind of mandatory vaccine. if not this entire thing, you had the president legit calling that shit a hoax.
Mm.
Then he got it. Then he's like, yeah, it's not too bad. Did not disclosing the fact that he was given experimental fucking drugs to get through the shit. You have half of the, if not 60% of governors in the entire United States is willingly getting rid of social distancing orders. You got different states running a fucking amok. You got states reaching 0% capacity for people in ICU in the hospitals. Like it's running rampant out here, and we're getting no government support. They were debating whether or not to give us an extra $1,400. So
Crazy.
then they were like, well, if you give everyone 2,000, we don't want to just be giving handouts. Yeah, because you don't want to give the regular people handouts. You just want to give the banks the bailouts when they needed to
Yeah,
keep
like what
them
the fuck?
that lobbyist money going crazy. So
Yeah.
here we are suffering because of that. So we're never gonna get no kind of, listen, you need to take this so we can get back. Like we could have been through this. I mean, we keep saying it, but we never had a national level lockdown. And there was no lockdown at any point in time. I don't know
Mm.
what people are saying. It was literally it was a please stay at home.
Yeah, no, it was never ever a
Please,
lockdown.
it was
A
just a, can
lockdown
you,
is yeah, a lockdown is really some crazy shit where like, yo, we
you'll get
talking
arrested
no,
if you're
you'll get
outside,
arrested if
bro.
you
It's like
outside. Like,
martial law, right? Not
yeah.
like that, but like, and like
Yeah.
it's really, you need to stay home. People are gonna bring supplies. Like you make a whole system so that people can stay home, still receive shit.
Mhm.
If we never did that at any point in time, not even for a single fucking day. We had a suggestion basically. Hey, listen, like this is how it is. Maybe everyone should stay home, for everyone's benefit. It was a
Mm.
hard suggestion.
Yeah.
And
N-
then
Like,
everyone was like, nah, I'm good.
no, I'm good. Some people was able to just do whatever they want and get away with it, and some people was able to, like, and that's like just my thing about it. And like I guess I agree. Like, if they did do it, I mean, like, if it was proven good, but you know what I mean. It's tough to say. Like, there's no way. Like, in a year's time, can we really know for sure if a vaccine is safe enough for any type of person to be able to take a drug? It's one of those things like you don't know. Like you realistically don't know how you'll ever react to anything. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
okay, flu shots have been proven to work on all these people. No, you can be the first person that takes it and all of a sudden your body just reacts to it and you just go crazy and die. Like, so I think mentally you can't really, it's kind of like I don't want to go outside like and get shot by like a thug, or what I'm saying, I don't want to drive my car and get in an accident. Like, yo, there's so many things that you do every single day that can kill you. So
Right.
like the very worst thing you can do is take if the worst thing you can do is take the COVID-19 vaccine to prevent the spreading of it, or possibly prevent you from getting it. I mean, come on, like,
See, and then the crazy thing is, what I mean with readily accessible information, if your concern is the vaccine and you have access to health insurance and a doctor, you could call that fucking doctor and be
mm,
like, yo, doc, hey, listen, I have some concerns about it. Given whatever maybe problems you have in your medical history, and they can fucking give you suggestion based on that and what they know, an actual educated fucking opinion to tell you whether or not you should take the shit. Not
yeah,
no fucking, I don't know, yo, they might be putting
some
microchips in my
Twitter
shit.
tweet, some tweet.
Yeah, some random tweet. Have actual information, educate, or find somebody who is educated to assist you in gaining that knowledge. And
Mm.
with that knowledge, then you can make that a better informed decision instead of you just coming off the cuff saying, I'm not going to take it with no,
No type of
there's a
like
difference between
information to
skepticism
back it.
and just
Yeah.
straight, no, like, no, I'm not taking this.
Yeah, I entirely agree. I agree about that. And I feel like a lot of like the people that I know that are involved in the medical field, they're saying that they have to take the vaccine actually. Like they're like required
Yeah.
to. So, I mean, I guess they are unfortunately going to be on the front lines of that. Shout out to all my medical professional friends that are in the fields and at the front lines doing the Lord's work and the universe's work, the work of humanity. Honestly, humanity is dependent on y'all. So,
Mhm.
shout outs to y'all, man, because if y'all say it's all good, I'm taking that vaccine. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I'm rolling through. I'm taking it regardless. Probably like if it really is one of those things where like it's a proven like it works, then yeah, I'm gonna take it. I'll roll the dice. I feel like I'm gonna be one of those guys that reacts good to it. Knock on wood. You
Yeah,
know,
right
hey.
now, the only stat I seen is like out of 30,000 whatever cases, like 3 cases of like some reactions to it.
Yeah. And
Like,
unfortunately, those are the most notable cases.
yeah, and
Those are
there's
the
people
ones
that are
that
like, "Oh my
everybody's talking about. Oh my
god!"
gosh, this person took it on camera and she passed. Like, oh, all right, so everybody's gonna look for that specific video and see it. Yeah, like everybody's gonna know that happened. Yeah, like, but that doesn't mean that it's gonna happen to you. Unfortunately, yeah, technology, and that's one of those like like you love it but you hate it thing with technology. Technology is so good that yeah, like when things like that happen, it spreads throughout the internet very very clear, like very quickly.
This
There's
information spreads so fucking quick,
and
man.
it's
I
like
hate it.
and it's like the uneducated has to like try to excuse me but it has to like try to digest that type of information, and it's just like yo nah, there's no way you could do that, there's no way.
And
So
then there's never any traction afterwards in regards to the correct information. So now you're left with everyone's lasting impressions of them thinking, "Oh, look, that's see, it don't work," not realizing, not having the full fucking picture, and everybody's just playing a fucking part in that shit. It's like mentioning the media because they'll do shit like that. You'll highlight that one fucking story about the vaccine, not knowing like this is a terrible time to try to sow any type of dissension and fear without like proper information. but
proper information,
but we can't have that because this we can't have nice things in this country, I guess.
yeah.
You can only
Yeah,
have
no,
some nice things, not all of the nice
not
things.
all of the nice things. Yeah, people need to at least understand the power of their word. Like, yeah, when you sit there and that's why I get so upset. Like, I'll be honest, some of the people I really look up to, and I'm not just talking like people I actually know. I'm just saying like, unfortunately, they say you shouldn't look up to anybody. Like, and for the most part, I do hold true to that. But there's like people, at least that you follow, celebrity wise, or just like in life, and you'll see them say things about it that are just very irresponsible. And you're just like, man, come on, man, like you can't be irresponsible about this because like this is something that you do not know about, man. You're not in school. You're not in these ICUs. You're not like actually seeing people die from this. You're not
You talking
in the
crazy
morgue.
from
You
your
talking
home?
crazy from your home behind a keyboard about something you don't know.
Nah, the
Did you
healthcare
lose anybody
industry's
to
in
COVID?
on it.
Yeah, like
You're gonna
what?
tell that to a healthcare worker,
You're gonna
bro?
tell that to a healthcare worker, somebody who's actually back there and
Working
watching
16,
people
18 hours a day, talking
watching
about
people
people
die?
die,
Oh my
watching people
goodness.
die all day.
Come on. Like, what are we even talking about? They watching people die and you sitting there talking crazy like that?
And you're
Crazy.
trying to console people who their family can't be there for them because of the protocols in place, because you can't, it is that contagious that you can't have that. So now
They
these
ma-
people are dying alone, and these healthcare workers are trying to give them the best care possible. And you're trying to, make sure that person feels comfortable before they die. You don't know them. Now it's suddenly your job to try to make sure, if you're a good person, you're trying to make sure that that person feels cared for in their last moments. Then you got to go home, see your family, still probably take quarantine protocols, make sure that you're not spreading that shit to your family. Like
it's crazy,
that's
bro.
it's crazy. But you're gonna sit
PTSD
there
from
at
this
home.
shit is gonna be incredible, and motherfuckers is just talking like it's some
I'm
shit.
seeing reports about nurses quitting, like they just can't, like they're
Oh
not
yeah,
getting
nah.
paid enough, and it's just
Oh no.
people are not
I
understanding like the ripple effects. Like you might not get it, but it ripples to someone else getting it because you were asymptomatic or you didn't show real symptoms. Because let's say you were perfectly healthy, you give it to somebody that's not as perfectly healthy. They end up in the hospital. That's one less hospital bed. Now, God forbid, that person who gave that other person COVID gets into a car accident. He needs an intensive care unit bed. I'm sorry, we are all out of beds. Now you cannot get cared for the hospital care because all hospital beds are currently being used for COVID reason. So if you have any other type of reason, it is going to be almost impossible for you to
mm.
get medical attention. So now something that could be treatable is now not treatable because there's literally no space. Imagine that. Like people are not understanding how crazy it ripples throughout the healthcare industry.
Yeah, no,
Like you're
it's really
talking
some
about like if
scary
somebody
times.
has a heart attack, like that's it. Because you
Yeah,
cannot go to the hospital.
they don't
They
got room for
cannot
you.
treat you. They don't have room for you. You
That's
didn't
like
have
some real.
anything to do with COVID. You're just living your life. You can't control that. And
Mhm.
suddenly that's now the state. Something that like, yo, I could have lived through that, or somebody could have lived through that. They could have lived through that. And you can't because there's no beds.
They're not even.
Because
You don't even got a chance to do it anymore. It's like they're not even giving you
it's
a chance.
now we got the UK strain coming over here that
Fucking
I
blinding
saw
people. I heard
a
you could
month
go blind
ago.
from it and shit. Like
A month
I'm
ago,
hearing
how
that's crazy.
much faster and quicker it spreads.
It's like yeah, bro. This
And
shit.
I saw that shit a month ago, and I'm like, it's coming here. I know it is because that's how COVID came. Same thing. We saw, oh look, COVID in the UK, and then boom,
Mm.
there's a case up in like Saratoga Springs or some shit. So
Yeah,
buckle
already
up
in New York.
already.
Oh
One of
no,
them.
this is not good. This is not
I'm
good.
trying to
I
tell
heard about
people.
one. I heard of. I think I heard about one. I think in Florida or some shit like that.
People
But I didn't know
thought
there was
like that
one.
was it. We hit a second wave. No, we did not hit our second wave yet.
Yeah,
This
we
is
didn't.
about to be the
This is the
second
second
wave,
wave, the new strain,
the new
part two.
strain. That's why I'm laughing. I'm laughing in terrible irony about how people are reacting to this and like, oh look, it's hope 2021 brings better tidings, and we'll all get through COVID. Like, nah, we have fun. It's buckle up until we can all get this vaccine. That's why that shit needs to be rolling like this for that second wave. Because the
Yeah.
vaccine's supposed to help with cutting down, I believe, like how much it spreads.
Mm. Yeah, no, and
But
that's gonna really be our only defense of this. It's like, can we stifle the spread? Can we stifle the spread? Can we stop the
or
spread?
mandatory lockdown for 2 weeks, give everybody 2K for 4 weeks, make sure everyone has access to stuff, give people ample time and buckle down for 2 weeks. They do whatever they got to do, clean everything. I don't know what needs to be done,
I don't
but
know.
do
I
all
mean,
that
like,
shit.
yeah,
So
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that could be done. I mean, I guess I don't know if you want to jump into it, but I mean, shit. I mean, Biden. Do we think Biden can we even hold him up to that type of? Because I mean, obviously, we in January. It's 2021. Happy New Year's to everybody on the podcast. All the listeners. Shout out to everybody that's been listening. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Do we think Biden is capable of delivering that type of presidency? Because Trump's out of here already. You know what I'm saying? So like mentally, I'm already like moving on. You know what I mean? What is gonna be like the steps that what's gonna be done? Like you know what I mean? So
What do
is
you?
he gonna be?
I want
Yeah.
to. I want to hear your. What do you think?
I mean,
I'm
personally,
curious.
I actually don't think Biden. I don't know. Like, I'm already looking at it like this. I mean, he's already somewhat like, from what I understand, switched up on the student loan situation. He's not canceling the full deficit of student loans, and I didn't think he was gonna do the entire thing. I thought he was just gonna do a certain branch of them, like pretty much like not all like college loans was gonna be gone. Like it was gonna be a certain section of loans, the
Mhm.
ones that was pretty much affecting a lot of the students. And I know for me it was gonna be a big alleviation, but I'm hearing now he already walking it back and talking about like up to 10,000 or something like that, rather than the full amount. And it's just like like that's like a clear cut example of it right there. It's like my expectations and my hopes for him is just that yeah, like he just does the right things. Like it's only gonna help. It will only help the economy. It'll only help people. Like doing things like that is not gonna be negative to us in any way. So I just don't understand like why it can't be done. And I guess that's just like the positivity in me. But like realistically, it's just kind of like you know with COVID, like at the very least, I think he needs to step up and initiate some type of a lockdown. Just like you said, I mean, do I want it to be militarized? Probably not, or anything like that. Like, not where it's like, I mean, I agree. You're right. The only way people are gonna respect it though is if they get locked up for going outside. Like, and I think like that's just gonna be where it's just gonna be like some real crazy shit. Like, you know what I mean? I think it's not the worst thing in the world if for like 2 weeks everybody was forced to stay home and just say, yo, 2 weeks don't leave your house. Like straight up, just
You know, they could
this
have something like, I don't, China
if you
did
leave,
have a system where, there were people outside, but it was like select people, where it's like, if you're like, I don't know, a
yeah,
healthcare worker or something like that, if you fit within specific things. But if you
yeah,
did not fit this criteria and you were caught outside and, whatever necessary papers or whatever that were used to verify that you could travel, then nah, you was getting I don't know, a hefty fine or arrested
Hefty
for that
fine
shit.
or arrested for that. Yeah, like I think I would agree on that. Like
And
my
that
thing,
only works though if from because the thing is, it only works if you give people money to stay home. Because if not, like,
there's
you
no
know,
incentive.
you're
Yeah.
that immediately becomes an issue for poor people because they have to go to work or they can't feed their families. They can't do X, Y, and Z. But unless depending on whatever function that they exist in, they're gonna say, people are police or whoever's in charge of that is gonna be like, nah, sorry, now you're getting arrested for no reason just
Hmm.
because you're trying to make ends meet. So there needs to be money coming into people's pockets to stay home. The staying home, the giving people money is to stimulate the economy. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but like if you give people money, they're going to spend it because people have needs to spend the shit on.
Hmm. Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. Like I believe in the fact that they do need to like give people money. Like that whole point is like pay us to stay home, and on top of paying us to stay home, I do believe there can be that system that yeah, you set up the checkpoints and like yeah, you might get stopped and they might ask you where you're going, but you're right, just have that documentation on your person. Really, if it's not for food or to go to a health professional, then yeah, probably you probably wouldn't be able to be outside. Like I don't unless it's like literally a grocery. I feel like that's what they said they did in China or something like that in certain
I think it
areas of
was like,
China.
yeah, some people they were go shopping for you or some shit like that, or they
Or
didn't
yeah,
bring
and even
you.
certain cases it was like that. Pretty much it was like on the roads it was just military checkpoints. Like if you was driving on the road, you had to pass through a military checkpoint eventually. And where it's like where are you going? So like pretty much initiate the same thing in like odd towns and as crazy as that sounds, just a 2 week period of just a stay home. Imagine just the general 14 day quarantine period where it's like, we really want to make sure nobody has COVID or things like that. You'd probably like just stifle transmission by like 70% or something crazy like that. It would probably be something crazy where like the transmission rates or the amount like of like per day transmissions is like completely stifled.
Yeah,
Like,
it stops. Yeah,
yeah.
you wait till those numbers are like done and they like really drop as low as possible,
Hmm.
and beds are a lot of people are returning to home. Only then you return that shit slowly to increments.
Yeah.
We
No, I
had the
agree.
right idea. We just accelerated those. Remember, phase one. People were still wilding, but a lot of shit was closed. If people had money to make it through that, then we should have stayed in that phase way longer, or
Yeah,
we should have
I think we
returned
should
back
have did
to it
like a.
already.
It should have been like a good like. I feel like that phase one. Yeah, it should have been like a good month or two of that for straight up, like where it was like, all right, nobody was on these roads. It was empty, because it didn't feel like it. Like I really honestly felt like it was like that maybe like 2 to 3 weeks max. But it was like it wasn't all the way. It still wasn't all the way though. You're right. Yeah,
But
man.
yeah, I don't know if I expect him to do that. Like you said, the student loan things.
Hmm.
Then he says, "Oh yeah, I support $2,000 checks to families," and then Kamala Harris voted no on bringing the total to 2,000 when it went to Senate. So,
So like,
uh,
what's going
what's
on here? I'm mad
what's what's
confused.
what's really going on here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know what the fuck to expect. Um, it would be nice. I feel like if we do get a $2,000 check, it would be a one time 2 grand check.
Yeah.
But
I f-
that only goes through if uh Georgia, the Senate race, if the Democrats win that.
Yeah. Nah, yeah, and that's why I'm hoping for that. I'm hoping, praying
Yeah.
that happens. I feel
But
like
we'll
yeah,
see.
they're gonna
Even
fuck
then,
around.
I don't know. Because
Even then, I feel like yeah, nah, they're gonna give us just the extra 14. If you got the 600 already, they probably just give you the 14 and call it a day. You're not even gonna get a 2,000. Not on top of that, because the government's greedy. They count every single dollar, so they're like, oh
yeah.
no, we said we would give you a $2,000 stimmy, not 600. So we just increased your 600 to 2,000.
Yep.
Yeah.
Uh, Anyways,
Depressing,
let's
but
jump
yeah.
into a little bit funner topics.
Mm-hmm.
NBA. We
She,
are
the
back,
NBA is back
yep,
in full
back in
swing.
full swing. What is it? 7 games have been played already.
I believe so. Yeah, it's about 6 or 7 games. Shit, let me look up the standings and see who is leading the league.
How do you feel about the quality? How does it feel? How do you feel as a fan watching? the
It
NBA
feels pretty
part two?
decent. It's not bad at all. I think obviously no fans being in the arena, it it's weird. Like it's one of those things that you're just used to seeing, but it's crazy. Like I feel like back then, like it's not something you focused on. You weren't looking at anybody in the crowd or anything. Like you were just used to
Mhm.
hearing them cheer though, like oh defense and getting hype and going
Yeah.
crazy for the plays. I feel like it makes you feel like you're there more. I guess. Um, for whatever reason, like literally the crowd sounds like make you feel like you're there. And I know they synthesize them and try to add them based on who's home, who's playing away, and they do all those things. But it definitely doesn't feel like fans actually being there. But at the same time, I don't necessarily need it to enjoy that product. You understand? So like
Yeah.
for me, basketball nonetheless is basketball. I'm really enjoying it. I don't know. How about you?
Yeah, it's you could definitely tell what teams are still kind of rusty
Mm,
from the fact that they were playing in the playoffs not too long ago. Um yeah, you could definitely see like some people sitting out every now and then, stuff
mm,
like that. It's weird because it's like the way some games are going are just wild. Like you just have some blowouts. There's like a good 25% of games just are ending up in blowouts. It's the wildest shit. And it's just
mm.
like such weird instances. I also think too, like guys' bodies are probably at this point ready to play or be in a certain state come December, but now they're like warming up in late December. By normally it would be what they start the end of October, so
Mhm.
they'd be in mid-season form by now. They'd probably feel accustomed to that. That's their bodies probably are like all out of whack. Imagine trying to warm up later. You're used to doing some shit for X amount of time, and now you're just suddenly your schedule shifts. So it's
Yeah.
definitely that. So I feel like probably you know January. I mean not January, like February to April or something like that. We'll start to see guys really get into the swing. But some guys
Yeah.
look ready to go. Like the guys that haven't played in a while, are looking great. I mean, look at
Mhm.
Steph.
Shit, look at Steph, even KD. I mean, like all of them. Some of them just look like they just haven't. John
Kyrie.
Wall. They
Yeah,
haven't.
John Wall.
Kyrie. They look like they
Guys
haven't
look
even
fresh.
left. Yeah, they have
It
not
looks like
lost
they
a step.
needed that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like kind of like it's kind of one of those things where you are right though. Like a lot of like the people that you expect to be good or at least like the dominant players, like they're all still pretty good, but like they do have that next gear that they're all gonna pretty much get to in like a month or two's time. And shit, I'm excited to see that as well. Like, and you're right. Like, I think the blowouts have been kind of weird. Like when you really think about it. And you're right. Like, I think if I had to attribute it to anything in particular, I think the fans do actually probably play a lot in that too, because nobody wants to get blown out by 50 in front of fans. And I mean, I know we'll speak
Yeah.
on that in a second, but it's just kind of like you know the like the you like when you have fans in the building, you're not trying to lose by 50. Like you're not trying to lose even by 30, like 25. Like you're not gonna let anybody embarrass you, or unless that team is just really punching you in the mouth like that. And I just feel like not having the fans there has played a more significant impact, definitely on the players. The players, and I think they've complained about it for the most part. Like they've all like complained about the idea, like the fact that fans aren't there, and it's just really like I don't know, played into their mental, like in their
Yeah.
psyche when it comes to, late game situations coming back or, just even getting pumped up or ready to just be out in attack mode. It's just not there. So it's one of those things. It's definitely one of those things that, um, I don't know. Through the season, you want to hope that the players are going to be able to adapt a little bit better.
Yeah. It's yeah, because I feel like if you already played in the bubble, then but I guess it's different in I guess what they used for the bubble as opposed to being in a massive fucking stadium with absolutely nobody there.
Hmm.
Um,
True.
yeah, it definitely it feels a little closer because again, like, all right, you see the different courts and shit like that. Like, you could
Hmm.
clearly tell, like, all right, it's in the arena, but now it's like, all right, there's nobody there, so it just looks funny.
Yeah, it looks
But
funny. Very, very
uh,
empty.
yeah, because there was like now some guys are coming back or other prominent NBA players are stepping back into the spotlight, so it feels like the season seems a little more of a shakeup.
Hmm.
Um, or is it just we seen something and now it's something different? I mean, I know it feels good to see KD and Steph back playing again. Those are two, and Kyrie. Those are three great, amazing players that very entertaining to watch, and we could clearly see the difference of when they're playing and when they're not playing. The NBA product. So
Hmm.
that definitely contributes seeing those guys play again, especially Steph dropping that 62.
Yeah, nah,
Absurd.
man. So what, son? Because it's like it's just so crazy. Like when you see that, and it's just the Steph slander that was going on too. People was talking crazy on stuff, and like I don't want to say I wasn't talking crazy on stuff, but I did have
I was
my
making the
doubts.
jokes because that shit is funny. That's how
Yeah.
jokes go.
Oh yeah, nah.
You're
Jokes
like
is for
one or
jokes
two
at a
bad
certain
games,
point.
the jokes be coming.
Yeah, you can't be mad at the jokes, but there were some people that were pretty serious though, like seriously trying to say like Curry he has something to prove. Like, wait, what? Curry? Like, we're talking about this dude, this dude that can go like for 60, 50 at a moment's notice, has reinvented basically offenses as we know it. Because legitimately, he literally rebirthed the NBA offense in the sense that extreme deep shooting is like the ultimate spacing tool. Like it will stretch defenses so far out that, like with the modern NBA point guard, they can beat anybody off the dribble and it instantly collapses and destroys any defense. It's like, the Warriors really, like, Steph Curry created the ultimate offense. He really did. Like he really was one of the pioneer. He is the pioneer. He's like the blueprint. So you really got to give him his respect, man. Like he didn't. It shouldn't take 62, even though, like, bro, did he like? And if you was watching that game or at least seen the highlights of him just dropping those buckets, it was just like, yo, it's truly Steffortless. That's what they say. It's Steffortless. Like that shit is just easy. It's crazy. Like it's crazy
Yeah,
because like even with Rust and like yeah, they was losing games, but his Rust he was averaging I think like 26, 6 and 6 or something like that. On
yeah.
like yeah, the splits was like
I never
43% and
doubted that he would put up individual numbers. I'm just
yeah,
curious as if it translates to wins.
yeah,
Just
exactly,
because
yeah.
you know you don't
Yeah, I
got
mean,
shit.
wins. And I think wins are tougher. Like a lot of people, like I think the biggest comparison to his season is now going to be Russell Westbrook's MVP season. Like when he had the triple double, led the Thunder to the playoffs. You know, like his
Yeah,
team
it's a fair.
versus Steph's team. You know what I mean? And a lot of people think it's like, I feel like it's a little unfair though because like, all right, the teams I think were like a little different. Like let's be honest. Come on, like people kind of like downplay. I think what was it? Did he have Oladipo on that team? He had Steven Adams. He had was Jeremy Grant on that team too, or no?
Uh, yeah, I think so.
A
But he was,
younger Jeremy Grant. Yeah, younger
Jeremy.
Jeremy Grant. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was a lot of these younger tools. Like like there was a lot of like good tools though in that team when you really think about it. Like as far as like good players, like they were all decent players. They're all successful in their own right wherever they're at right now. And I'm not sitting here saying, oh, those are the reason why Westbrook was able to pull off those wins. They definitely all played their own part. I just think that like when you look at Steph's team right now, right? And maybe the field at the time, the Western Conference as the field, um, it was a completely different landscape. It absolutely was when you consider the maturity of the current competition. Because I think in that season where Westbrook, I guess, was what the 8th seed, the Warriors were the 1 seed. Who was the 2 seed at the time? I guess it was probably the Spurs or was it the Rockets at that time? I don't even remember. It was probably the
Might have
Rockets. I
been the
don't know.
Rockets.
It's probably the Rockets. I don't know if was this before or after the Kawhi went to Toronto.
This
Because
is 2016, 2017.
so this is before Kawhi
So
went, right?
yeah, this is LeBron's season after the ring.
After the ring. Okay, so his season after the
So
ring.
this is where I think this is the season he drops 51 in game one and JR fucks that up.
Oh, okay. So yeah, this is okay, yes, 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 yes.
It's KD's first season with Golden State.
Yeah, I think the Spurs had just made the playoffs too that year too. I think they get swept by the okay, yeah, I remember I remember the season, yeah. So pretty much it was like just an odder field. I feel like the conference, although like I'm not gonna disrespect anything he did. It was like overall weaker. Like the Western Conference right now, I feel like it was harder than then. Like Westbrook went crazy. I'm not gonna sit here and disrespect what he did, but I do feel like the Western
Well,
Conference right
Houston
now.
was better.
I think
Golden
Houston was
State
better.
Houston was better. Golden State had KD. They were the unstoppable juggernaut.
Yeah.
Um, Did the no Clippers didn't Clippers with a scrappy team. They didn't have
Clippers were the
Kawhi or
scrappy team at the time. The Spurs were trash. Didn't have Kawhi too because he sat out that whole year.
yeah,
Um,
shit.
you had Portland. Did they even make the? Did they make the playoffs that year? Or they?
I
I think
think
they
so
did.
because we were 6 seed. We were 6 seed that season. I remember
Yeah.
that
So
much.
Portland made the playoffs that year. I think maybe who else? The Nuggets probably
Oh
made the
man,
playoffs again, right? I don't
yeah. I
even know.
mean,
Like I would have to actually look at that. Like because I feel like that's a conversation that's not even talked about enough. Like just all right, how difficult is the field? Because I mean, Portland, yeah, we kind of laugh at them, but they're a tougher
Golden
team.
State,
Uh
San
huh.
Antonio, Houston,
Mm.
Clippers, Jazz, Thunder, Grizzlies, Trailblazers.
And that was
So
that Mike Conley Grizzlies team still like that was it's good, but like come on, is it
yeah,
really that great? Like there was just like I don't know. Like I feel like on the Western Conference, or at least the teams that didn't make the playoffs at the time, right? Those teams you could beat up on. Now, like the teams that aren't making the playoffs now in the West, like yeah, they're bad, but like are they really awful teams? Like the Spurs is a team that's not a playoff team anymore.
more younger talent that spreads it out.
Yeah, like and then exactly like and then when you look at just like all the other
Because the
elements
Nuggets are
too.
a serious contender now.
Yeah, like the Nuggets are a serious contender
Dallas
now.
Microphone, Dallas is a serious contender.
Exactly. Uh, I mean Houston is still a
Suns
somewhat a
play
serious
better.
contender.
Kings play better.
Kings play better. So like you know what
LA
I'm
better
saying?
again.
From
So
top to bottom, I'm telling you, it's just a much better conference. Like it's not that the top at like you're right. Like maybe it's not as top heavy as it used to be, but
yeah.
overall, top to bottom, it's a little bit more competitive. So like to compete for the eighth seed is just a lot harder now. It's like way harder than it
Yeah.
used to be.
But
And
I look
so,
at it
like I
as
think he does
Draymond
need
got
it.
to
He needs to show up. Draymond needs to show up too. They both need
because
to
if
show up.
you can't be on from a multi NBA ring team playing asked on.
Hmm.
Like you're
Yeah,
gonna
you can't.
be kind of he does everything you want from a basketball player at any point in time, but it's like you have to kind of do more now because you got one less guy that you're used to. So
Yeah. Nah, I definitely expect him to step up. I hope he steps up because it would be bad for his legacy if he doesn't step up. I'm pretty sure they would have to trade him. Like if he like shows that he just can't be an impactful player, like nah, they can't keep him just to keep him. They would have to try and get rid of him in some
I don't
weird
know if it's a
package.
hot take or not, so I can't say anything. Like
Yeah,
it could be a
I
hot.
think it.
I don't know
Uh
how Golden State feels at this point. Like, are they gonna,
yeah. Nah, I think
I mean, that's
yeah,
always
yeah,
who
I'll
I
take.
think is the first one to go out of the three because ain't no way Golden State letting go Steph or Clay anytime soon.
Yeah,
I feel like Dre
exactly.
would be the one to go first. I don't know if they would try to. They would still probably try to continue to build a championship team. But yeah, it would probably be. I feel like not that it would hurt Steph's legacy because it doesn't, but I don't think like no one really said like Curry. I never heard before this like, oh, Steph Curry can carry a team, like he's that impactful of a player. I mean, people say that he's like, oh, he brings gravity to the, every time he's on the court, like all eyes are on Steph. But I don't know. I feel like he's incredible, but I
Yeah.
feel like I never heard anybody speak about him in a way that like it doesn't bother me. Like I don't feel like it hurts his legacy if he doesn't go crazy. I mean, or if he puts some numbers in, it doesn't translate to wins.
I feel like yeah, you're right. Like I feel like yeah, his like it is more of like the wins. Like let's just see how many wins you can get. Let's see if you can get in the playoffs. That's what really matters for the boy. And I don't know. Let's see. I think the Warriors will make the playoffs. Like if I had to make a prediction right now, I think they're gonna make the playoffs. And if there was a game that Steph kind of
Different
unlocked and
landscape.
figured out his mojo again, like I think this was it. Like he kind of like okay, we
I'm
might
just
see
curious to
Steph
see
do this more.
because I feel like every team barrages threes.
Hmm.
So his threes feel devastating, but other teams focus on shooting threes pretty often too. So
Hmm.
if a team converts on average a decent amount of threes, it's going to even out
Nah, yeah,
math
it's true.
wise in the way that like he could throw up the 62, but they didn't, they blew him out towards the end.
Yeah, you
I
see,
think it was,
like pretty much the NBA offense has adopted to the Golden State style of offense. They know how to score like that old school Golden State, 130 points. They
Yeah.
can put up 100 and you know what I'm saying? Like they can do that with ease too. Like Portland especially. Like I think
There's so many
even
people that shoot that crazy range, so it's not uncommon for defenses to key in and know how to play a guy like that a
mhm,
lot better than they used to. So that's really what's going to be. But I mean, he's that good that it shouldn't matter. But I'm just curious to see like
mhm.
how he moves through that because this is
Yeah.
the last time we'll see this was his first MVP season.
Hmm.
Probably is like the year that
Yeah, we saw
if he
like just like him, he's in his prime and he had to like handle double teams somewhat still,
yeah
and you know what I mean. Before they realized he was like fucking
God
like God, and Klay Thompson was a god too, so they still
yeah
had to respect him. And Draymond was gonna give you 35% from 3 points, so you had to respect him at the time. And yeah, that was an interesting time because yeah, I'll be honest with you, I ain't never seen nothing like that, man. The way he was playing that year was like I was like, yo, Golden State got like the next 5 titles. I really felt that in my entire earnest heart. Like I
I just
was
was
like,
like holy shit, bro! I've never
yeah.
this is ridiculous.
I say, yo, if this is the new basketball that he figured out, like how to just chuck threes at an extremely high rate, I said it's over. Nobody's gonna be able to beat this dude because like if nobody else can do it, it's over. Like how
But
what else are we gonna
people
be able to do?
responded very fast.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Like, and that just shows you how like good the modern like athlete really is.
NBA
Like,
player is,
yeah,
bro.
what? They all like literally downloaded it. Like we talk about Kawhi, like and make the jokes.
Software,
Like
yo.
over a summer, man, they download that shit like an update. Like they all like
Like,
just
all right,
learn skills.
start
Like,
working on that shit. James Harden was like, all right, I'll pick it up. Dame,
bro,
yeah, all
James
right, I'll
Harden,
pick it up.
yo, that's another one that doesn't get enough respect.
Kyrie was like, all right, I already kind of do that. Now I'm gonna just do it more.
Yeah, like these guys, like what? They just all like kind of just said, "All right, you know what? I need to learn how to do it more." And they all pull it out on demand. Like, and James Harden is the man. There was a time where I really felt like Steph Curry was definitively better than James Harden, but I'll be honest, I don't know anymore. Not anymore. Like, cause James Harden, man, he just comes in and he averages 40. Like, it's like he does it with ease.
There's dumb shit sometimes. It's just like I
Yeah.
don't know how the hell you're accumulating these stats. It just looks that shit to him looks like he's always sleepy,
Yeah,
but he's
and
still
his movement just looks so sleepy but blazingly fast. Like it's so crazy. Like when you watch him play, like he's just one of the oddest like players to watch that I love though. Like so much. I love watching James Harden play basketball. He's one of my favorites for sure.
um yeah. So more NBA stuff.
Sure.
Clippers. This is
Fucking, we got the
hilarious.
Clippers, man. They highs and lows. They got so we talked about them getting blown out by 50. I mean, I know, and then I mean the Paul George slander. So I guess we could kind of just throw that both in at the same time. It's just hilarious. I feel like, cause you know what, and I think specifically the Paul George slander. I'm okay with it. It's fine, and I'm not
He's
even.
the streakiest motherfucker ever to
Yeah,
me.
he's an extremely streaky player, and I think everybody understands that, and I love it. And it's just like it's just crazy though, like at the same time though, because I feel like I'd seen like Devin Booker obviously just recently got into it with him, and he was like, "Yo, you soft ass nigga." So like he said, son hit him with he really hit him with that. So it's just like I'm just like, damn, son. But Devin Booker, like, you ain't even in the playoffs, my boy. Like at least this dude could say he was like battling in the Eastern Conference Finals
Yeah,
against LeBron. Like he did some good things like out there in Indiana. And I mean, yeah, like if you got to go back to Indiana, is it really good for him? Probably not. But at the same time, at least he did it.
yeah.
Like so, I think like maybe we gotta stop getting some people are like, all right, relax. Like I don't know if D Book should be the ones that be able to should be the one that should be able to get that off. But
Yeah.
if he is one of the ones, I mean, I guess it is what it is. The game is the game. But I think like, nah, come on.
It's
With all
not
due
about what
respect,
you did, it's about what you're doing for me right now.
yeah, and that shit is the fact. Like, bro, he gave him 39 in the W, son. So D Book, you gotta hold that L, bro. You can't be talking shit.
Yeah.
He was losing, my boy. Like, step up. That shit is
Yeah.
it's crazy.
He's so streaky and it's I don't know. That Clippers team is hilarious. I did not expect that shit
They're
to
the
go the way it
streakiest team
did
ever.
last year.
Yeah,
Now this year, I'm like, bruh,
yeah.
what's going on here?
I hope they don't embarrass themselves, man, because it's just gonna be it's gonna be an odd season. I mean, I mean, it's so funny. I feel like I don't know how they're embarrassed. They definitely embarrassed themselves last year. This year they seem a lot more humble, so they're just gonna see how it plays out. They're gonna just stay quiet and just play their games, which is just the way you should do it. The absolute way you should be doing something like
Yeah.
that.
Um, the Nets,
Yeah, the
KD,
Nets
Kyrie look
whew,
coming out the gate.
looking dangerous, yo.
Oh, KD, I
Dangerous.
mean, not saying KD didn't look like he lost the step. He does seem slower, not as explosive at times, but he
Mhm.
looks way fucking better than I thought he was gonna come out the gate with.
Yeah. Like he actually still looks like damn near MVP Durant though. Like he looks like
Yeah, he
he's like
looks incredible.
it's like it's so crazy like when you actually just think about like how good like he actually is like post a kid like and this like, it makes you marvel at modern technology because you know shit like older players was never able to recover from the
Cover,
injuries that
yeah,
yeah what like
bro.
they
They
get that
said
injury
he
their
put
career is
in.
over.
He got the Winter Soldier cryostasis shit going on.
Son, what? Like that shit is crazy.
They
That-
froze him in ice until
That's
he healed.
hilarious.
Thawed him out. That yeah, because yeah, both of them. But that shit is again. It's not about what you did. It's about what you're doing for me right now. Both of them missed that fucking shot the other night.
Exactly, talking all that shit. And that's why you shouldn't run your mouth, Kyrie Irving, talking about, oh yo, I got somebody finally for the first time who could make the shot that I feel like, oh, I give him the ball and he can make the shot before I can. Like, nah, son. Like LeBron, like, bro, he got way more makes than you in those moments. Like, you gotta just respect LeBron, son. You
It's
really gotta
hilarious.
respect his clutch and just like not talk shit, man, because then you just get caught out here looking like a fool, and then they got your name trending on Twitter, and you're just mad, upset, and like fucking depressed in your room over that, like, because that shit is. Yeah, man, because I know he was hurting, man. They was like roasting his ass. What? They was like, yo, Kyrie talking shit. LeBron laughing, son. I seen that video. I was crying.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
So considering all these newer teams coming back into play, a more now that we have a few games under our belt to digest, what do we think the end of the year is looking like?
NBA season. Shit. If I had to make my earliest predictions, probably the Lakers 2021 champs. I see that. I
Still
see that for
Lakers
sure.
winning the
They're
champ?
gonna probably repeat. If they're not repeating though, I'll say I'm just gonna go Clippers. Clippers. Gotta go with my Clip show.
Yeah, I think yeah, I think Lakers could do it again. I think they'll run into a game 7 on the way there though.
hmm Yeah, no, I think they're gonna get tested like a little bit harder. Like I actually think their team might be on paper be a little bit better, even though like they
I
might
don't know, the
struggle
Gasol
this
pick
year.
is kind of funny because they said to get him to for Jokic, but there's other ways you could still defend Jokic,
Yeah.
honestly, without having to get him. And Gasol ain't the same guy. I mean, I think he might open up the floor offensively in terms of passes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, actually, I just don't understand the Jokic because you're right. Like Jokic is a mobile big, so he's a guy you need somebody who could be like mobile with him. And I mean, AD is the ultimate equalizer. So I mean, as long as they had AD, they were fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
And
don't
the
know.
Montrez
Yeah,
shit is interesting too. I
yeah,
mean, the Dennis Schroeder shit was good because he did have a good year with us. So
yeah. That was a great pickup. Actually,
yeah,
that was a
that's
great
another
pickup.
dynamic guard. Now you don't gotta rely on Rondo that frequently. I mean, he showed up in the playoffs, but now you actually got somebody for the regular season if you need to.
Yeah. Nah, that's I don't know. That actually is an interesting question. Now I'm really thinking about the Jokic and Gasol situation. Like I don't know. He's an immobile big. He is an immobile big because he's old now. So it's just hey, we'll see. We'll see how
We'll
that
see.
team handles them in the
And
playoffs.
what about the East?
The Eastern
Miami came
side,
out the gate looking a little sluggish.
they came out the gate looking sluggish. I know Philly's in the lead. I believe in the East. Yes,
Yeah,
they are
hey,
5-1.
5-1.
That's
Don't know how that
crazy.
happened.
Yeah, no, I definitely don't know how that one happened. Wow, that's crazy. Raptors are 1-4. Holy shit. Wow, I'm looking at the standings right now. Yeah, it's just terrible. It doesn't look good. He,
Uh, Pascal Siakam not good no more.
yeah, he like lost his powers and his ability. He stopped working. The money got to his head, man. Son, it's unfortunate. That's what they be
Damn.
saying when you get paid, bro. Nah, I don't know. He's probably just in a little bit of struggle. I think he's gonna be able to make it back from it and do what he needs to do to lead the Toronto back into the playoff picture. But it's crazy seeing them at 14th in the East right now. Yikes. Like, it's so crazy looking at the standing. The Cavs are fourth, the Magic third. Like, what?
I'm
Hawks fifth.
curious to really see how far Atlanta's gonna go because
Yeah,
they're
I
looking
hope
out the gate.
make the playoffs.
That was a great pickup for them, Gallinari.
Yeah, Gallo's a great player. People be forgetting like how good he used to be just because he's technically from, I would say, like the older generation of good talents in the NBA. But like, nah, he could definitely help a championship contender. Anybody who, or just that wants to get better. You want to get into the playoff picture? Nah, like Gallo is definitely somebody that could be on your team and help you out.
Yeah. Uh, but yeah, so I'm very curious to see how this season's gonna go because yeah, new players and some people are really look like they fed up with not being in the playoffs. So looks like they trying to finally make it happen 2021.
Nah,
But
fast.
yes, so I think it's time for us to get in to I think a topic that we kind of really wanted to delve into. And we funny how we both thought about it, probably just at different times. So I would say being at home more frequently due to COVID has definitely inspired within me a freedom to have a little bit more creativity because now I don't really have the option to go places, hang out as much, if at all. So now more time spent at home trying to find other ways to spend that time. So for me, I'm expressing creativity through music, or like I said, I started picking up drawing more again. um Whatever strikes my fancy. So I feel like so many other people are also engaging in the same way, and we're starting to see not only people who are already creators maybe branch into others or just further enforcing that. I know a lot of producers are just cranking out music a little more frequently, but we're also seeing people that have never gotten into any type of creation, creativity, or content deciding to jump on and expressing creativity. So I know for some content creators, they look at it like, oh, you guys are just bored or whatever the case may be. But is this an indication that staying at home has really is going to look back, or we're going to look back at this moment and be like, wow, this spawned so many creatives? Or are all these people just doing this because they don't have any other time, and when we're done staying at home, that's it, they're just going to drop it? Are we seeing, are these creatives going to stay? Is it going to really impact everything, or is this just temporary?
Um, I guess yeah. And if I'm gonna start it off, I would say like I would hope they're gonna stay, but I do feel like a lot of creatives are gonna be temporary. Like I even feel like um, and I you know what, I guess specifically the specific reason why I feel like something like this is gonna be temporary is because I kind of even liken it to like my own creativity. Like I feel like my waves of creativity, my creativity comes in waves. I'm saying things backwards right now, but that's essentially like a good like reason as to why I feel like this is gonna probably happen to most people. Like you're right, like you're at home right now, you're trapped inside, like you might find yourself in a situation where you're feeling a little bit more creative than usual, or like you might see somebody doing something online and you might like say, yo, you know what, I might have an idea to do that, or you know like maybe you're right, like you, that skill that you hadn't used for years, you might want to dig it up and bust it out, and you all of a sudden you're trying to remaster an old skill. Like I feel like that's expected when there's literally nothing else to do. Like there's literally only so much television you can watch right now. There's nothing new being put out, so a lot of people are just digging up old content and just continuing to watch old things.
Yeah.
And then you transition that over to like nothing's being open, and like what I mean, you can't get together because like literally it's probably one of the worst things you can do in terms of being safe. So like what are you gonna do? Like you start to dig up old hobbies, and I know even me, like I've been trying everything. I've been doing anything and everything: gaming, building PCs, I mean my car, I mean I've photography, I've been doing every single thing that what I mean. I mean even cleaning excessively, remodeling rooms. I like, you could try anything and everything. You do these things to just kind of pass time. Like you kind of want to hope that you wake up the next day and they have a vaccine, and all of a sudden like bars and clubs and everybody and I don't know, the things that I didn't do anyway, like when it was open, would be open again. You know what I mean? Like you hope that things will go back to normal and you have options in life. But it's just right now, it's not the truth of the matter. You gotta accept it for what it is, and I think a lot of people are doing it as a coping mechanism. But I don't know if they'll actually stay because, um, like I don't know if they'll actually take it serious enough for it to be like something like professional. Maybe as a hobby, we're here and there, sure, but like I don't know. Like a lot of the creatives, I mean, you're right. Like there's just a lot of people doing a lot right now. Like I mean, that should be blowing my mind. I'm like, damn, I feel like I'm not doing enough sometimes. Like I know we talk about that. We hit that enough. We've hit that before on the pod, but like you definitely can feel like, sheesh, you're not doing enough because people be out here really moving and grooving. And I hope people keep that love, but at the same time, it's just like, I can tell a lot of it is coping.
Yeah, just trying to really pass the time as constructively as possible. Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like I'm not sure. Like I look at it as I feel like if you were creative before, then you're still gonna be creative. And I find people who are already maybe engaged in one form of creativity have branched out into another,
Mhm.
or even just like really honed in on the one that they were already doing. I feel like if you were not creative and you just started picking that up, it's who knows? This could be the time because I know there's a lot of people who are like, "Oh, I've always wanted to try something, but I just never had the time."
Mhm.
Are also starting to use this time to engage. I think my dad was telling me that he's like, I actually started to learn to play guitar, and I was like, "Wow, you've been saying that shit for like the last 10 years, too." But he actually started doing it, so I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I feel like that is for some people like this is their time to finally to to I guess branch out and to really get into things that they've wanted to do. Because
Mhm.
like it's been a big pause. So I know people are fortunate enough to have spare time. Um, Using that to basically find yourself and find another party was always cool.
Mhm.
Um, I would say on the funny side, um, people who are like taking shit more seriously, like what I would say like there's so many people who are now like, "Yo, I'm doing a Twitch channel." And I'm like, "I hope you good." Because, like, just don't do it because you think you're gonna blow up. Like, do it because you wanna stream and you wanna get better at it. Just don't
Yeah.
be like,
Oh,
"I'm
that
gonna make"
conversation does not need to, like, that's a conversation I feel like a lot of people like need to have with themselves
it's,
before they actually
like, do
pick it up.
something for
Yeah.
the love of doing it because you wanna try it, not because, "Yo, Imma try this just so I could pop off." Yo, I'm seeing mad people take pictures and I want my Instagram to blow up, so Imma learn to take pictures so I can get 10,000 followers. Like, no, learn to take pictures because you
Cause you
like
like to take photos, bro. Like, cause yeah, man, and it's sad. Like, I feel like, unfortunately, that's what I feel like I'm seeing a lot of. You know what I'm saying? You're seeing a lot of people that are picking up like creative habits and creative like behaviors, like just creative like just things that you just never seen them do. And it's like you don't want to hate on anybody. I feel like anybody can go wake up one day and say, yo, you know what? Like, I want to become a chef, or I want to start cooking food and doing this, and or I want to like start cutting hair, or I want to start like, you know what I'm saying, anything and everything in the world. I'm not mad at anybody for getting up and actively wanting to change themselves or become like, you know what I'm saying? We don't have to become old cats and, oh, the dude that I remember from X, Y, and Z years ago, like that's the only person you can be. Nah, like I want you to become anything you want to become in life. Like you have the right to, but I want you to also do it with like soul and intention. And you don't have to do it to impress me, obviously. Like this is just me. This is why we have our podcast. We get to talk shit and demand what we want, and niggas can listen to us or not listen to us. What I want motherfuckers to listen to is just, you should be doing things truly with purpose. Cause you're right. Like, the Twitch people do. Like, you're right. Like, if you are on Twitch, right? Like, and I've always thought about this. A lot of our people that I see on Twitch now, and even when like I used to Twitch stream, my problem with Twitch streaming is just that I'm not consistent enough. I'm at least good at games. I'll be honest with you. So like you can watch me, it's gonna be a little bit of my humor. Like if you know me personally, you fuck with me. Like
Yeah.
Tenny, you're gonna have a good time. And shit, even the randoms I fucked with, they be fucking with me. Like and I'm good at games. So like you at least have that balance of, all right, he's good at games and he's somewhat a cool cat. Like that could be the personality you selling or whatever it is. Like, I
Yeah.
obviously have somewhat of an idea of what it is that I'm dishing out there. But like, I know people that was streaming that, like shitty quality stream, like not properly set up, no communications, or like just not really like not, I don't want to say not funny because that's subjective, but like just you're not really talking. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
you're not good at the multitasking of doing both. And if you're not even good at the multitasking of, okay, you're looking at a stream chat and then you're playing the game and interacting with the stream and playing the game, like you need to focus on the game because everybody's streaming like shit like Warzone and BRs right now. Like
Yeah.
everybody's trying to play competitive games, and like everybody I see playing those games is just terrible, man. It's just hard to watch. It's just hard. Like I just be I be depressed, man. Like just like, yo, I can't watch this. It's cringe. I just be cringing. Like just, and
Yeah.
like you gotta like just really, you really gotta like have a good idea of just what you want to do. Like no, you don't take the photos that you see everybody else taking on Instagram. You gotta take photos that you feel like you gotta have your vision and just take the vision that you see. Like that vision of what you see that you want captured, that image that you have in your head.
Do
You
that.
you have to share that with the world because that's probably what's gonna get you your biggest, like your most likes. Like that's gonna get you your
Yeah.
biggest hits.
Creating freely is wonderful if you know how to do it and you're able to tap into it,
Mm-hmm.
and you can eventually learn how to actually tap into it instead of like stumbling upon it.
Yeah.
uh it's lovely. So like if you are going to create, like, really learn to fall in love with the process of making it and not just the end result, because if you fall in love with just the end result, then you're going to try to find shortcuts. And for certain things, yeah, there's shortcuts in technique. When you get better, things become easier, and so it takes less time. But trying to go from A to B without that knowledge and that experience and that time invested, is not the right way to do it, because now you're just like, well, how can I get to that faster? But if focus on getting better, then when you get better and you are there, it's going to be so much easier, and you're going to even love doing it more. Now you can make, more complex things, whatever you're doing. Because, let's say for making music, you start off making simple beats, you take the time to learn all about it, in 2-3 months time, all of a sudden you're making shit that when you listen to before, you're like, I didn't even know I could make this.
Yeah. Now that's the goal. That should definitely be the goal for everybody in that.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's important. Like, I think everybody's creative in some way. But people are just, I don't know, either scared or just haven't tapped into it. But there's always somewhere. And I just think people sometimes maybe limit themselves in forms of creativity. Like, you could be creative in like so many types of forms. Like, it doesn't have to be like, oh, I make music, I make, I draw, I take pictures. It can be, I'm creative and I take pictures of specifically these types of things, or
Mm.
I draw these types of drawings and stuff like that. It could be so many different little niche things, but if you find it and it satisfies you, that's like the best feeling in the world. So I feel
Yeah.
like, if you are fortunate to have that time, like, really try to find the creative part of you, because it is good for so many ways, or so many different things about you to express creatively. It's an outlet, really. If you learn to capitalize off of that outlet, like, it just helps you in the long run, like mentally, like come home, decompress from work, just create, do something that sparks that. So
Hmm.
I don't know. That's just my 2 cents.
Nah, I agree. I always look at it like this. I think all of my creative outlets have only been positive for me. I mean, shit, I have a camera that I can take good photos with, and shit, I shoot this podcast with. I mean, that I have a great computer that I am able to shoot this podcast with, or if I want, I play video games with. I get to stream with. I know. I think I'm pretty sure I said this on the podcast before, but like that point, it's just like withstanding. It's just kind of like, and I don't even know why this should just be losing focus every 10 seconds. I don't know what's up with my camera right now. I'm sitting here talking too much good shit about this camera, and it's fucking
That
it
shit
up. But
failed you.
oh man, but yeah, like the whole point in Notion is just like, we have all these different outlets, and they get to serve purpose in your life, like after a while. Like if you buy it, or like you have it for one reason, or you build into it, or you pick it up for whatever reason it's in, or you pick it up for, you're going to be able to use these hobbies, these outlets, these creative things for whatever reason in your life. And I mean, I think that's just in itself a good enough reason to just stay on it, or just, make sure to stay on it. Don't do it for cloud. Don't do it just temporarily. Don't do it just because it's the panty outside. Like, nah, like stay in it, because trust me, it's a rewarding experience. You're right. And it's refreshing. It's relaxing. Um, like shit, I can't tell you guys how much, like, it's so refreshing when I come home and I walk in my room and I see my computer. I sit down in front of it. Like, that shit feels great. The same, like, from literally from like whatever I'm doing to like getting, like, if I go to work, like literally leaving the house when I'm depressed, but like I see my car and then I get into my car, I'm mad happy. And then I'm mad happy going to work, sad again, but I'm mad happy to leave work, because then I get back into that car, drive home, and then, you know what I'm saying? I'm really into cars. So like once you do that, you go home, like, and then I see this computer again and I'm really happy. So, like and I liken it to fucking Shy and her plants now. Like, she's mad into plants. So like she sees her plants, like her new designs. I mean, the way the new living room looks. I mean, shit, the television on the wall, the homey look of the living room, just the comfiness, like just being into your hobbies and just having your interaction with them is just very, very refreshing. Like, it's a very, very refreshing feeling.
That's always the best. Yeah, exactly. Interior design, like shit. Like there's so many ways to express
But
yourself
that's like
creatively.
my favorite right now.
Yeah, like I cooking could be expressing yourself creatively too. So I encourage everybody. There's some shit for you out there. Don't say there isn't. You're gonna find it. When you find it, you're gonna be like, oh, this is it. You're just gonna fall in love with it. And there's no
Yeah.
better feeling than like falling in love with like doing an activity. Because like for the most part, like you could just always go to it, and it's you're in that moment. It's one of those few times where you're like, okay, I'm not thinking about anything but the moment that I'm in.
Mm.
It's like one of the best things, you know. So yeah.
Nah, that's all
So
right.
shit. Uh
Shit.
I think that's it then.
Yeah, nah, that's it, man. That's it. I think that might be it, man. Looking at
All
this
right.
docket here,
We
it's
done got through it all in.
got through it all. Slow start to the year, but I mean, shit, it's the holidays, man.
It's
Everybody
the
was supposed to be
holidays,
low
yeah.
key. You're
I
supposed
hope
to be at
everybody
home and enjoying your family and
was
just the,
safe.
yeah, it was safe, man. You know what I mean? And shit, like, better luck to 2021, man. We hoping that it's gonna be a year. Shit, hopefully we can get back together, like, in person, and like just shoot the pod, like, just visibly in person. I don't know why it keeps doing that. That shit is actually like, wow. I don't know. Fucking camera keeps like fucking up, but hey, it is what it is. 2021, man. We in session. Let's get it.
Session. So I hope everybody's doing safe. Hope everybody had a wonderful holiday. Thank y'all for rocking with us into 2021. We will always keep doing this. And yeah, be safe for the year. And we will see y'all in 2 weeks. So stay up.